What is up, YouTube? So tomorrow's one of the biggest days of the year. And what might that be, you're asking? Tomorrow is the NFL draft. And with that being said, I thought that I would show you guys my mock draft. So before we get this video started, I just want to say right off the bat, these are my opinions for who these teams are going to pick. By no means am I an expert or have ever said that I'm an expert. I'm just saying that these are the players that I feel like these teams are going to pick. And with the first overall pick, the Cleveland Browns are going to take Myles Garrett, defensive end out of Texas A&M. This one's a no-brainer. He's obviously the best player in this draft. He's one of those very rare freak type players that just has both size, speed, and just God-given talent. Hopefully he can actually excel in Cleveland. And with the second overall pick, the 49ers are going to select Jamal Adams, safety out of Louisiana State University. So this kid is super high on everyone's draft board. He is regarded as the second best player in this draft, so I don't see why the 49ers wouldn't take him. They've taken major losses to their defense, and they definitely need someone who can make plays out there. And I believe that Jamal Adams would be a great fit. Especially with their new GM, John Lynch, being a safety himself, I feel like he would really be able to help the kid grow and excel in the NFL. And with the third overall pick, the Chicago Bears are going to take Marshawn Lattimore, cornerback out of Ohio State. And with the fourth overall pick, the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to take Leonard Fournette, running back out of Louisiana State University. So the Jaguars have had a struggling running game ever since Maurice Jones-Drew left. I feel like Leonard Fournette is just the best running back in this draft. He has the size to be a three-down back as well as the speed to be able to make plays constantly. He's also just one of those running backs that's just not going to go down. And with the fifth overall pick, the Tennessee Titans are going to take Solomon Thomas, defensive end out of Stanford. So some people have actually had Solomon Thomas going number 2 to the 49ers, but I feel like he's going to drop back a little bit to the Titans, and since he's going to be there at number 5, I don't see why the Titans would not pick him up. This kid is an animal that just has a motor that does not stop. I feel like he'll be a really good addition to an already good Titans defense. And with the 6th overall pick, the New York Jets are going to take O.J. Howard, tight end out of Alabama. What more can you say about O.J. Howard? This dude is like a mix between Jimmy Graham and Rob Gronkowski, but faster. He's one of those tight ends that just does not come around often, so you definitely need to pick him up, and I don't see why the Jets would not. Especially seeing that they just lost Brandon Marshall to the Giants, they definitely need another offensive weapon to help their already struggling offense. And with the 7th overall pick, the Los Angeles Chargers are going to take Malik Hooker, safety out of Ohio State. Now the Chargers defense hasn't really been the same since they lost Eric Weddle to the Ravens, so I see them picking up Malik Hooker to be a direct replacement for Eric Weddle. I feel like he'll really help their defense, especially since the AFC West is stacked with receivers like Demaryius Thomas, Amari Cooper, and Emmanuel Sanders. And with the 8th overall pick, the Carolina Panthers are going to take Christian McCaffrey, running back out of Stanford. Now this one really hurts me because I really wanted Christian McCaffrey to fall to the Broncos at pick 20, but honestly just do not see the Panthers passing up on Christian McCaffrey. With their main running back in Jonathan Stewart getting up there in age, they definitely need someone to replace him. I feel that he would really help Cam Newton, especially because not only can you put Christian McCaffrey in the backfield, but you can also split him out in the slot, and it's not like a running back in the slot, he actually acts like a receiver in the slot. His versatility will really help Cam Newton's progression, and I feel that it's a really good fit for him. And with the 9th overall pick, the Cincinnati Bengals are going to select Reuben Foster, linebacker out of Alabama. Now honestly, I had a hard time putting Reuben Foster this high since he did fail his drug test at the combine, but he's such a good player, I just do not see the Bengals passing up on him. The Bengals also have previous experience working with troubled linebackers, seeing that they have Vontaze Burfict. I feel that they'll be able to help Reuben Foster the same way that they've helped Vontaze, and that he'll be an outstanding linebacker there in Cincinnati. And with the 10th overall pick, the Buffalo Bills are going to select Hassan Reddick, linebacker out of Temple. Now I had a hard time with this pick just because most people are putting Mitch Trubisky here, but I feel that the Buffalo Bills are going to at least take one more year with Tyrod Taylor and see how he does. And the Bills need help on defense, especially at linebacker, and he's the best available linebacker. And with the 11th overall pick, the New Orleans Saints are going to select Marlon Humphrey, cornerback, Alabama. Now it's no secret that the Saints defense is absolutely trash, especially in the pass game. So they need someone who's going to lock down all those NFC South receivers. And I feel like Marlon Humphrey is going to be the best guy for them. And with the 12th overall pick, the Cleveland Browns are going to select Mitch Trubisky, quarterback, North Carolina. Now it's no secret that the Browns definitely need help at quarterback. And luckily for the Browns, none of the quarterbacks in this year's draft have shown themselves as surefire franchise guys. So I feel that Trubisky's going to fall to number 12 to the Browns, and they're going to get a really good quarterback. And with the 13th overall pick, the Arizona Cardinals are going to select Patrick Mahomes, quarterback out of Texas Tech. Now to me, this doesn't really make much sense because I would have chosen Deshaun Watson here as the second best quarterback, but from what I've been hearing, the Cardinals really like Patrick Mahomes. They like his arm talent and they want to let him be nurtured under Carson Palmer and let him learn and develop before they put him as a starting quarterback. Which I think is great because I don't think that any quarterback should really be just thrown into the limelight as a rookie. And with the 14th overall pick, the Philadelphia Eagles are going to select Jonathan Allen, defensive end out of Alabama. Jonathan Allen has actually been projected as a top 10 pick in most people's draft boards, but I think he's going to fall a little bit, and the Eagles are going to pick him up at 14 and get a really, really good defensive end. The Eagles definitely need a pass rusher, and I feel that Allen's going to be a great fit for them. And with the 15th overall pick, the Indianapolis Colts are going to select Derek Barnett, defensive end out of Tennessee. Now, I personally think that they should get Ryan Ramczyk here, but I don't see them actually picking him. I don't think that they value him high enough, even though I think that they really need help for Andrew Luck so he's not getting sacked so much. But Derek Barnett will really help their defense because they do need help on defense too. And with the 16th overall pick, the Baltimore Ravens are going to select Mike Williams, wide receiver, Clemson. This pick makes perfect sense because the Ravens have absolutely no offensive weapons. They have a really good quarterback in Joe Flacco, but no offensive weapons. So Mike Williams will be a great target for Joe Flacco to throw to. And with the 17th overall pick, the Washington Redskins are going to take Takkarist McKinley, defensive end out of UCLA. With the NFL becoming more of a pass-happy league, teams are starting to stack up on defensive ends, and so the Redskins, they're going to need another defensive end if they want to compete in the NFL. And in my opinion, Takkarist McKinley is the best defensive end left on the board at this point. And with the 18th overall pick, the Tennessee Titans are going to select John Ross, wide receiver, Washington. Now, I would have liked to have seen Corey Davis go here, but they already have a big body receiver in Sharpe that they just drafted last year, so I think they're going to give him a chance, and instead they're going to pick up John Ross, who is just an absolute deep threat and also a very versatile player. I feel that John Ross will really help Marcus Mariota as far as the short game as well as the deep game, because obviously John Ross is the king of speed, having a 4.2 240, which is absolutely insane. And with the 19th overall pick, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to select Dalvin Cook, running back out of Florida State. So Dalvin Cook's going to be able to stay in Florida. I feel that him and Doug Martin will complement each other very well, and then eventually when Doug Martin retires, because he is getting up there a little bit in age, Dalvin Cook will be able to take the main workload and he'll do just fine. And with the 20th overall pick, the Denver Broncos are going to select Ryan Ramczyk, offensive tackle, Wisconsin. Now, the Broncos definitely need help on offensive line. And with the AFC West having some of the best defenses in the NFL, the Broncos are definitely going to want to protect their quarterback, whether that's Paxton Lynch or Trevor Siemian. So I feel like Ryan Ramczyk will come in and he'll really help the Denver Broncos offensive line. And with the 21st overall pick, the Detroit Lions are going to take Gerard Davis, linebacker, Florida. So right now, the Detroit Lions have absolutely no one at linebacker, so this pick makes perfect sense. They need someone who's going to be able to command their defense, and I feel that Gerard Davis will be a good fit for them. And with the 22nd pick, the Miami Dolphins are going to select Forrest Lamp, offensive guard, Western Kentucky. Now, the Dolphins need to protect their investment in Ryan Tannehill, so it makes sense that they're going to be picking up Forrest Lamp here. Their offensive line is okay at best, so picking up Lamp here will help solidify that offensive line. And with the 23rd overall pick, the New York Giants are going to select David Njoku, tight end, Miami. Njoku's kind of like O.J. Howard in the fact that he's just an absolute freak at the tight end position, except he's just not as polished as O.J. Howard is. Now, I feel that Njoku will help a lot in the offensive line just because he is a pretty good blocker, but I feel that it'll also help a lot in the passing game so that Odell's not getting all the attention. And with the 24th overall pick, the Oakland Raiders are going to select Cam Robinson, offensive tackle, Alabama. With Derek Carr coming off the injury that he just had, they definitely want to protect him, so it makes sense that they're going to pick up Cam Robinson here. With the addition of Cam Robinson, if he does pan out to be a really good lineman, the Oakland Raiders could have an extremely good line for the next couple of years. And with the 25th overall pick, the Houston Texans are going to select Deshaun Watson, quarterback, out of Clemson. So after the huge mistake that the Texans made in getting Brock Osweiler, they're definitely looking for a new quarterback. And in my opinion, I feel that Deshaun Watson's actually the best quarterback in this whole draft, but other teams rate other quarterbacks higher, so he definitely has fallen a lot, and I feel that the Texans are definitely going to get an extremely good quarterback. And with the 26th overall pick, the Seattle Seahawks are going to select Garrett Bowles, offensive tackle, Utah. So the Seahawks have a really good defense, as everyone knows, and their offense is pretty good, so adding an extra lineman won't help as far as protecting Russell Wilson. And with the 27th overall pick, the Kansas City Chiefs are going to select Garyon Conley, cornerback, Ohio State. Now, Garyon Conley did not help his draft stock after he had those rape allegations come out on him, so I feel like he's going to drop all the way down to 27 to the Chiefs. And like I said, with the Chargers pickup of Malik Hooker, the AFC West is just stacked with wide receivers, so it makes sense that they're picking up another corner. And if Garyon Conley pans out, the Chiefs could have as good of a secondary as the Seattle Seahawks. And with the 28th overall pick, the Dallas Cowboys are going to select Adoree Jackson, cornerback, USC. Now, we all know that Jerry Jones likes to pick up the flashy players, so it makes sense that they're going to pick up Adoree Jackson, who is probably the flashiest player in this whole draft. But it doesn't make sense because the Cowboys do need help at cornerback, and he'll also be able to help in the punt and kick return game. And with the 29th overall pick, the Green Bay Packers are going to select Joe Mixon, running back out of Oklahoma. So it makes sense that the Packers are going to pick up a running back here, seeing that their leading rusher was the receiver Ty Montgomery last year. So they definitely want to get a true running back there. And Joe Mixon is actually a really good running back who's just fallen in the draft because of some off-field issues. And with the 30th overall pick, the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to select Evan Ingram, tight end out of Ole Miss. So the Steelers already have an elite receiver in Antonio Brown and an elite running back in Le'Veon Bell, so they're probably going to try and pick up another elite player in this draft in Evan Ingram, who has the biggest upside out of most of the tight ends. Now, this kid's an unusual tight end, seeing that he ran a 4.40 in the combine. He's built like a receiver, so maybe he can help Antonio Brown out and get some pressure taken off of him. And with the 31st overall pick, the Atlanta Falcons are going to select Kevin King, cornerback out of Washington. So the Falcons definitely need help at cornerback. And in a pass-happy division like the NFC South, it makes sense that they're going to be picking up a cornerback here. And finally, with the 32nd overall pick, the New Orleans Saints are going to select TJ Watt, linebacker out of Wisconsin. Like I said earlier, the New Orleans defense is trash, so they need all the help that they can get. And I feel that TJ Watt's not only a great athlete, but also a very good defensive player. I feel that he'll be able to come in there and make an immediate impact. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I'm really looking forward to watching the draft tomorrow. If you guys didn't agree with some of my picks, please comment down below on who you think would go to what team. Now I know this is a little bit different from the videos I normally do, but hopefully you guys enjoy it. If you did, be sure to leave this video a like. If this video can get to 10 likes, it'll let me know that you guys enjoy videos like this. Also, don't forget to subscribe so you guys can stay on top of all the other videos that I'm coming out with. But with that all being said, I hope that you guys all have a great day, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Ciao.